Welcome back to the Knock-On Effect, the rugby show where we say what the pundits won't. The Six Nations has come to a dramatic conclusion. We're going to take this opportunity to discuss Ireland's performances in the tournament, go through some of our best performing players, and answer the question, are Ireland on the decline? Let's get stuck in. So we're going to look back at this whole campaign game by game. First up, we had England. It's a game I'll remember fondly as I was in attendance. The fans were in full voice as we eagerly awaited the opening of the Six Nations. Unfortunately, it was arguably our best performance in the tournament. The English came to fight. We met that up-front battle and showed our class in the second half, finishing off some brilliant tries. Bundee Aki's try in the corner where he bulldozed his way over comes to mind. As the game came to an end, maybe we saw the first signs of a chink in the armour as England scored 2 consolation tries in the death. All in all, I left the Aviva full of hope for the remaining matches. Scotland in Murrayfield was always going to be difficult. The head clash between Finn Russell and Darcy Graham, however, denied us the opportunity to see both teams at full strength on the day. It was hard to tell just how good we were as a result. We had too much quality for the Scots. A 32-18 win against Gregor Townsend's men, however, is always welcomed. It was a much scrappier game than the England match. We weren't afforded the opportunity to reach that 5th or 6th gear. I would have chalked this down to the injuries stifling the flow, but again, possibly it was a sign of what was to come. After the break, we travelled to Wales, fresh off the back of sacking Gatland. Matt Sherratt had a game plan in mind, and by God did the Welsh boys execute it to a T. Ireland, however, looked tired, disjointed, and rusty. How much of that was down to the Welsh is up to you, but I was very disheartened here by the lack of rotation. We just about scraped our way over the line, despite Ringrose's red card for head-on-head. But hey, a win's a win, and we had a mammoth task ahead of us. France. As the home team, many fancied us as the favourites. The unfortunate injuries, however, to Mac Hansen and James Lowe meant that we headed into the match fully stretched. We weren't able to capitalise on our possession. We knocked in the French defensive line, but they stood firm. We didn't have a plan B. We got caught out here. Had we become so used to bulldozing our way over teams that we forgot that we need to vary the attack? France really put us to the sword here. They made us look average. Yes, we've lost big matches in recent years, the quarter-final against New Zealand for example, but I can't remember a time in recent history where we were torn to shreds like that. Lastly, the Italy match. Probably the match that best showcased just where we are. Capable of winning, but by God did we make it more difficult than it needed to be. Again, the one thing that stood out to me was how one-dimensional we were. The moments where we found the most success was in the trick plays, the cross fields, the silky back moves. Having played as a forward, I'm far from it being against picking goals, but there's only so much you can watch a team bang away at a locked door and get no return out of it. We were again very sloppy in possession and our handling, constantly looking disjointed. By the end of the match, when Prendergast kicked the ball out, it was a relief that that shit show was over. Now, I've had a lot of people comment saying that we won the Triple Crown, only lost one match, stop being so negative, but I can't be the only fan that thinks this way. We looked bad this year. I have no problem whatsoever losing the odd game. Shit happens. But let's be honest, something has changed in this Ireland team. We saw it at the beginning of the autumn series, and I hoped that after that England match that we'd found our form again, but sadly that's not the case. Third in this year's tournament is where we deserve to be given our performances, and for me that's just unacceptable. We look like we've lost a fighting edge. We've always had some warriors in the squads. Sexton was a dog, O'Connell was a beast, genuine leaders that drove the team on, formidable characters. We've just seen 3 legends in O'Mahony, Murray and Healy hang up their boots, and I struggle to see where the gaps will be filled. While we're on that as well, not including Cian Healy in the matchday squad for Italy was despicable. This team needs a burst of energy from somewhere, no matter where you fall in the out half debate. We did a video on that earlier, so if you missed that, be sure and check it out. But we need more youth challenging for starting places. This squad has become stagnant. You see what the likes of BL, BRE and Luku have done for France. We have so much talent in the country. It's time to start giving them a shot. We said way back when the squad was first named that it was too old, but the little youth and fringe players included, we didn't even get to see. The likes of Cian Prendergast and Cormac Izuchoku have been phenomenal for Connacht and Ulster respectively. Why bring them if you're not going to play them? It's not all doom and gloom, however, and I want to shine a light on our top 3 players from the tournament. In third, I have Caelan Doris. I had reservations about him as captain after the Autumn Nation series, but he really put his hand up for the Lion captaincy here. He cut out a lot of his silly infringements, handled the officials with respect, and led from the front every match, so fair play to him. In second, I've Gibson Park. He really showed his class again this year. He's gone from being a good scrum half to world class. His vision is phenomenal, epitomised with his box kicks. He drove us around the pitch and creates so much attacking ball for us. He would have been number 1 if not for Andrew Porter. Not only would we be screwed without him, as there's definitely a gap in our depth at loosehead, but another player who's often criticised for silly penalties showed some real restraint this campaign. There isn't many players with his physicality who can last 70 plus minutes, but he was an absolute workhorse for us. A world-class scrummager, always willing to throw his body on the line, and fit and ready every game. Incredibly underrated for this Ireland squad in my opinion. There's plenty of other honourable mentions in the likes of Dan Sheehan, Tyg Byrne and Bundy Aki. We have plenty of talent, we always have, which makes the poor performances more confusing. This brings us to the question, are Ireland on the decline? Short answer, no. Long answer, this is a transitionary phase, and we will go slightly downhill before it gets better again. There is a good few players in this squad who have already reached their peak. The disappointing thing for me as a fan is seeing this and the players still being picked week in, week out. It's time to start blooding in the new era of Irish rugby before it's too late. All in all, this was a disappointing campaign from Ireland. We had our chance here to make history. Had we been just that much braver in our team selection, maybe we could have done it. But unfortunately, it slipped through our fingers. Have your say in the comments below. Cheers for watching. Catch you at the next one.